Breaking news! Breaking news! There's a lot to freaking talk about today. Maybe Brian Johnson wasn't the problem last year. Saquon Barkley got insulted by the Giants GM yet again, and a little bit of a training camp preview, and as well as more details on the Saquon. He actually reacted via Daniel Rossini's podcast, so we're going to talk about that and a whole bunch more. So without further ado, let's fly on into it. First and foremost, the very first thing we're going to talk about is it was all Nick Sirianni's show. Everything we seen on the field was completely his offense, according to the Athletics' Dan Rossini and the reports she's heard, the people she's talked to, or however. What this means exactly is that Brian Johnson didn't even get a fair shot, because like she said herself, or however, everything we seen on the field offensively was all Nick Sirianni's game plan, or however they call it was, however the case may be. So that obviously means he was scapegoated and things of that nature. And we didn't even actually get to see his actual offense, Brian Johnson's actual offense. So for all we know, it could have been something great or however the case may be. And then Washington actually has something good on their hands. And then obviously Howie and Lurie made a mistake, obviously, or however. I get all the success in 2022, but again, without good coordinators, he's worthless. Same thing, but before Shane Steichen took over the offense in 2021, that's why it looked identical. And I've been like debating a couple people with this or however, like, oh, it didn't look identical. Like literally, look up how the plays looked before Shane Steichen took over in 2021, and then compare them to supposedly Brian Johnson's offense. They look the exact same. So I mean, hopefully, you know, uh, it looks different this year, things of that nature. And then obviously Nick Sirianni, he spoke on his job security, saying that it's Philly, it's the NFL. At the end of the day, we have to win. If we don't, it's going to be hard for me to work here. I got that. It goes back to things you can and can't control. I think he kind of knows that his job is hinging on Kellen Moore, because he kind of knows his scheme is trash and doesn't really do anything, or however doesn't create explosive plays and all that. I think he kind of knows that. Um, Next up, last little thing about last year, however, as we know, it was all Nick Sirianni's and whatnot. Um, but yeah, I mean overall. Um, Saquon Barkley was disrespected, and while I talk about that, I'll go ahead and play his little hype video that he's made, or however he looks fast and all that. No diddy. Um, but yeah, the Giants GM insults Saquon, saying that Devin Singletary is good enough to win with, like saying as if Saquon Barkley's not good enough to win with. Devin Singletary is not an all-time talent, or however. He's gonna be worse than freaking Saquon. If you put him on a freaking crappy field, most half the time, since at least half the games are at home, just about, or however. You know what I'm saying? Crappy freaking field. You know what I'm saying? No quarterback, no O-line. I mean, they've done pretty much nothing to have him run behind anything. And again, Danny Jones or whatever his name is the answer at quarterback. Sorry to tell you. And he's also said that he's healthy and durable, or however. I mean, it's y'all's fault he's not healthy and freaking durable. I mean, somebody that big and strong, or however, I mean, he's literally built like a 6'2" LeBron. No diddy. But I mean, a worthless field, worthless freaking organization. I mean, of course you're gonna get hurt. If you're overplayed, overused, etc. I mean, of course it's not gonna go well. I guarantee you that they're gonna try to make him 80% of the offense too, and he's gonna get injured. Guarantee it. Wish him the best. I don't wish nothing bad upon anybody, but I mean, still. Next up, Sidney Brown. Obviously, he's gonna miss the start of training camp because he's gonna be on the PUPs list, the physically unable to perform list. Um, and as well, we have a couple pieces of information on potential signings slash trades. Alan Lazardo's linked to Philadelphia. He's a pretty good blocking wideout, obviously. Whatchamacallit, we might trade for him if the asking price isn't too high, or however the case. 23 passes caught, 311 yards, and a touchdown. Obviously, he's friends with Aaron Rodgers or however, so I mean, Aaron Rodgers might keep him on the team or however, but I mean, I don't know. In terms of his stats last year, I mean, obviously blame that on Zach Wilson. Absolute bust. And then Next up, Justin Simmons' asking price might be too high, which is I'm pretty sure why. He hasn't been signed yet. Because other teams have been trying to sign him or however, and that's been the reason why they haven't been able to is because his asking price has been too high. So perhaps that's why Howie's waiting to sign him or to try to make a move or however. So next up, Knicks. Dang, I already talked about that. Forgot about that. Next up, a little training camp preview for you guys. Um, Sidney Brown, obviously, ACL rehab, so he's going to be out. Nakobe Dean, I'm pretty sure he's healthy. Jurgens is healthy. I'm pretty sure he missed a few games last year. Jalen Hurts, obviously, with the knee. I'm pretty sure that's completely, good, and he's fast again and all that. Um, Saquon Barkley, I'm pretty sure he's good. I know he missed a couple games last year for the Giants, but luckily, he actually has an O-line, actually has somebody to help block for him or however, instead of just, zombies or however that just take up money. Next, and then obviously LaRaven Clark and Bradbury. Bradbury's unknown, and then LaRaven Clark's on the injured reserve. That's, to the best of my knowledge, the only health updates I have right now. In my opinion, the biggest strengths are, however, I think we're going to hear a lot of about Saquon Barkley in training camp, Shipley and Kendall Milton, and I think maybe Kenny Gainwell will get cut. Um, and then obviously, I obviously think we're going to hear a lot about the secondary. I think we're going to hear a lot more since the pads will come on and everything like that. We're going to see a lot more picks, a lot more. It's going to be you're going to be able to take it with a less grain of salt. You're going to be able to take it more seriously or however because the pads are on. It's more contact. It's more difficult. Um, and I honestly think um, the biggest like the third biggest strength is at least offensively. At least offensively, we have a pretty good balance between young stars and vets. Obviously on the O line, we have Lane Johnson, he's a vet, you know what I'm saying? And then obviously Cam Jurgens, he's young. Um, and then we do have a couple vets. Mekhi Becton, he's been in the league a couple years. Just things of that nature. It's pretty exciting, that we have a pretty decent balance. The biggest weakness, um, in my opinion, we just have three. We're going to be relying on basically a lot of question marks, rookies, uncertainties, injury-prone guys, or however the case may be. Potentially Eli Ricks, Sidney Brown, Maddox, Huff. Is it a 1 year thing or however? I believe in them. I'm keeping my same energy, but just because what I believe, it doesn't make it a fact. I believe, we have a good championship level roster. However, I believe it. We do have the potential. But like I said, Nakobe Dean, he's a glass man. I know that for a fact. Jamier Trotter, we might have to rely on him. And I do like him, no Diddy. You know what I'm saying? He is a good player. He is respectable. Zach Bond, Devin White, how they fit into the scheme. Dejan and Cooper Dejan and Quinion, they're rookies. Obviously, it's an uncertainty. It's reasonable. They're rookies. Not everyone has, Michael Jordan first year, or Rookie of the Year first year. Not everyone has that. So, keep my eyes open to all possibilities, being humble or however. Next up is the coaching uncertainty. Obviously, we need a top 10, top 5, hopefully, defense, and at least a top 3 offense, for us to hopefully win a Super Bowl. For me, in my opinion, it's to win a Super Bowl every year. If it's not to win a Super Bowl, that's a loser personality. Anything short of a Super Bowl is a bad season. I don't care what anybody says. If you don't win a Super Bowl, if you lost a playoff game and you go home, that's a bad year. I'm sorry to tell you. Even if you won 18 straight or however the case may be, up until that point, it doesn't matter. If you don't win the Super Bowl or however the case may be, it doesn't matter. Champions. You want to know why Tom Brady's a GOAT? 7 rings, regardless. Yeah, he cheated. He did. Yeah, inflate gate. Yeah, Bella cheat and all that. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. Yeah, I get all that. But at the end of the day, 7 rings, you can't take that away from him. He's the GOAT. At the end of the day, you can't take that away. So if we can have somebody that knows how to cheat or however that can get us 5 or 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 rings, go ahead, hire them. Do whatever you got to do to win. Cheating and winning is better than doing it right and getting blown out and losing all the time. Next up, Sirianni's still here. I think that's a pretty big weakness. It would actually help to have a qualified head coach that actually knows what he's doing. That if the coordinator needs a fresh set of eyes, it's not going to be some wide receiver screen or some bubble screen or however, and then the coordinator's going to get the blame. For the one time the coordinator needed help, it's okay. The players can need help, the coordinators can need help, the head coach can need help, the owner can need help, anybody can need help. It's fine to need help. It's not a bad thing. But I guess here it's get blamed and then the bum head coach gets to stay. Things not to worry about before week one of the preseason. In training camp, expect to hear more good about the offense. Or however, I know like during the OTAs, Jalen and Kenny Pickett were throwing picks and whatnot. Or however, but I wouldn't expect that too much. Or however, I'd expect to hear good things like, oh yeah, Jalen Hurts is sharpening up, he's warming up. Or however, um, I'd expect better looks, better fundamental changes, bullcrap narratives. I just seen one today. AJ Brown's going to get traded. Literally just after how he extended him. Yeah, no, it's not going to happen. I'm not even going to waste my time putting the article up there because it's bullcrap. Um, but yeah, I mean, like I said, bullcrap narratives. It's absolutely true. And then next up is General Eagle slander. First day the fitting. Tougher practices, happier players. Hopefully, um, I mean, that's things to expect slash not to worry about. Things to worry about besides the obvious stuff, injuries, etc. Crimes or however the case may be. Nick being too involved, or Kellen Moore and Vic Fangio not being involved enough. Fangio not pushing guys hard enough. Like not showing tackling or however. That was like the biggest weakness. I mean, Fangio has to see that. I mean, 20 something years in the league. Not saying he doesn't, but I'm just saying he has to. He has to see freaking tackling. He got to work on it freaking first day. Um, yeah, and then if it's too quiet or however, you got Landon who always says good morning, like that's why I always like watching the training camps or however because he's always in a good mood, and then most of the guys are in a good mood. Whatchamacallit, C.J. Gardner Johnson defensively, Brandon Graham, it's his last year, so I'm pretty sure he's going to try to make memories, and continue, his legendary career. And obviously Fangio, etc. He's a no bull crap kind of guy. Obviously Jalen Hurts, everyone's saying he's becoming a better leader. Lane Johnson, Cam Jurgens, like all those guys, are pretty vocal. We don't have a quiet football team. They're not quiet guys. No Diddy, just in case or however. But yeah, and then if you don't see players buying in or coaches buying in or however the case may be, um, then if again, other than the obvious stuff, if you don't see these things, or if you do see those things, or however on that list, or however, like I said, Nick's too involved, or Kellen Moore, the coordinator's under involved, Kellen Moore not pushing the guys hard enough. If there's softer drills on either freaking side of the ball, you know what I'm saying, or if it's too quiet, you know what I'm saying, or the players or coaches ain't buying in, then yeah, then kind of worry or however. Those are really the only things really to worry about, in my personal opinion. And then in terms of preseason, it's right around the corner. Um, it's like literally August something, so it's about a week away, or however. I'll get like more into detail, or however about preseason predictions, or however the case may be, and how many this, how many that. Like I'll do all that, or however. But just a quick little overlook, quick little preview, little sneak peek, if you will. Things to worry about is if the rookies do not play at all. That would be a heavily like not even one drive out of like the 3, 4, 5, however many games or however. I just love everything about football so much. I don't really care about the numbers or however, except for like stats like Jalen Hurts 4,300 passing yards or however the case may be. Anyways, and if Dean Trotter, or Shipley just simply play bad, or get injured or however the case may be. Things not to be worried about is play calling. Obviously, not every single thing is going to be showed right away, right that second, or however the case may be. So, if you don't see like 99-yard bombs or however, and but I think even then, like with Kenny Pickett being the backup, Tanner McKee, you know what I'm saying, getting the reps in, I mean, I think even then it would be still pretty entertaining, considering the weapons around or however the case may be. So I mean, again, um, I really wouldn't worry about play calling. I think it's just to get people in rhythm and to see essentially what looks we can do, and seeing giving the coordinators a better look at what they've got. So next up is rotations. That's not really much to worry about. If everyone is playing or however the case may be, you know what I'm saying. I mean, there is a lot of talent. You know what I'm saying. It's hard to make that cut or however the case may be before. So I I really wouldn't worry about that too much. And then obviously next up is Jalen Hurts. I'm pretty sure he's literally only playing like one quarter or like a couple drives or however the case may be. So I mean, just during preseason, I mean, I really wouldn't worry about him too much, essentially. Um, so yeah, like I said, I mean, yeah, I think that's gonna do it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. A little training camp, preseason, little preview, or however. I just love football. Like I said, love my Eagles. I bleed green. I plan on going to the Week 13 game versus the Carolina Panthers. I think that's going to be a pretty fun game to watch. And it like works out timing wise or however the case may be. If any of you guys are coming, comment down below. Maybe we can link up or however the case at halftime, things of that nature. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. One last little thing before I get out of here. Darius Slay says that he tries to hold in every single play, um, but the best know how to get away with it, or however, because it was like a post saying that Sauce Gardner is like the most overrated play that you could call him on holding for every single play. And he says, shoot, I try to do it every single time too, but the best know how to get away with it. I'm like, yeah, because you're trash, because you can't actually do anything. Can't actually cover. You know what I'm saying? You don't actually want to win a Super Bowl, you know, because I mean, you seen James Bradbury and you're like, I try to, you know what I'm saying? But it's because you can't tackle, you can't cover, you know what I'm saying? You can't get picks. So I mean, why are you on the roster, bud? You know, I mean, everyone overhypes him. Everyone is so like, on his stuff, but I get he's an Eagle, but he's not that good. He doesn't want to tackle, he can't get picks, he can't cover. So I mean, if you're a player, it doesn't matter what I mean, he's not officially a play caller, he's not a coach or whatever, so it doesn't matter. If he's a mentor, ever, I mean, you can always find another mentor. It's not hard to do. I mean, heck, have Isaiah Rodgers. He'd be the perfect mentor. He can actually play. He can get picks. He can tackle still. He can cover. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's the best cornerback we have probably as of now. Because Slay's washed. Bradbury's washed. And then, obviously Quignon and DeJean is their rookie year. So, I mean, I can't assume too much of them. So, yeah, sorry to ramble. But, yeah, that's going to do for today's video. Really do appreciate you guys watching. That was like the last little post-credit scene or however. But, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Philly out. Peace.